OK, plenty of late drama in La Liga last night. So to review it all, we're joined by LaLiga TV presenter Semra Hunter. Lovely to see you, Semra. We've got to start with Real Madrid, I think. So they needed 2 late goals to avoid what would have been an embarrassing defeat at home to Elche. Do you think they needed to be more clinical?
Not just an embarrassing defeat, it would have been a historic defeat. Elche have never won at the Santiago Bernabeu in 23 attempts, so it really would have been something to see. Yes, I do think they needed to be more clinical. Real Madrid, they were not short on opportunities. They had 23 shots across the entire game. They had a little bit of help too with the penalty that was awarded. Karim Benzema stepped up to take it. And for the first time in 20 attempts, he actually missed a penalty. He almost always puts it away. Actually, he had always put it away until that time. So they definitely did lack that final decision-making, that final touch, the ability to get past Edgar Badilla, who was in goal for Elche, who was absolutely astonishing, especially in that first half. He was making some really top-notch saves. But credit to Elche, the two met in the Cup earlier in the week, a couple of days before this game, and Elche had taken the lead. They had pushed Real Madrid to go to extra time in that game too, and Madrid had to come back from behind as well. In that case, they won the game, they advanced to the next round in the Cup, but Francisco has done a marvellous job of turning Elche, a relegation contender, into a team that has become very robust and very difficult to break down. And evidence of that was what we saw in their eventual draw yesterday at the Santiago Bernabeu.
And Semra, what about Barca then? Because they obviously got that win over Alavés, and Xavi saying after that the shirt weighs 20 kilos more than anywhere else. What did you make of that?
Well, Emma, football's a funny game, isn't it? Because Barcelona, that was probably the one game they didn't really deserve to win. They were dreadful. They were shambolic. It was probably the worst performance I've actually seen from Barcelona since Xavi has taken over. Yes, they dominated with the ball, with the possession. They had about 75% possession, but they just didn't do anything with it. In Alavés, they were quite comfortable to sit, to defend, to keep the lines closed, and to not really allow Barcelona to come up with any clear ideas to break through. And so they had a little bit of luck towards the end of the game. It was the 87th minute. Busquets was able to recover the ball exceptionally well. He got the ball off to Jordi Alba, who then got it over to Ferran Torres, who then provided the assist for Frenkie de Jong, a player who has been criticised quite often as of late. So did they deserve the win? Honestly, probably not. It was very welcome. However, they really needed those 3 points, and they needed something like that. They're now just 1 point outside of the Champions League spot. So they're knocking on the door, and it's quite a remarkable turnaround in that sense of where they are in the table. But still, the football that we've seen has a long way to go to really be back from what we know from Barcelona are capable of doing.
Semra, let's get on to some transfer news now. And it looks like Ousmane Dembele's time at Barcelona might be coming to an ugly end. Where do you think he might go?
That's a good question. And to be quite honest with you, right now, I don't really have an answer for you. Right now, it seems as though he's staying in Barcelona, and he has yet to make a decision as to whether he wants to renew his contract with the club or not. So you say it's ugly. It really has become a very public showing of this divorce between the two, between the club and the player. And the latest installment of this saga was yesterday, Dembele deciding not to turn up to the training ground before they travelled to Vitoria for their game. Xavi had asked all of the players to turn up. No one knew who was going to be called up into the squad as of yet, but he was the only player who didn't show up. They called him to find out where he was. The response they had was that he was having some stomach issues, and that was the official line that they gave, that the club gave. So he wasn't included once again into the squad list. It's a very complicated situation. We can go on for a long time about it, but at present, what it does seem is that he's going to be at Barcelona for the short term. Barcelona are looking into maybe actually giving him some kind of a punishment for what happened yesterday. They're looking into maybe fining him for the fact that he didn't turn up. But the saga is long from over, and he still has to make a decision as to what his future is going to be. And as of yet, we don't really know any other official offers that are coming through outside of the Catalan capital.
Yeah, it's all getting a little bit messy with Ousmane Dembele, isn't it? We've been talking so much on our transfer shows about Newcastle's pursuit of the Sevilla centre-back Diego Carlos. What can you tell us from over there in Spain?
Nothing has really changed in the last few days. Sevilla are quite calm. They're quite relaxed. They don't really want to let him go. He's been such a pivotal piece to the puzzle for them. He's the most used player under Lopetegui so far this season. And the defense has been the bedrock for their success. They're second in the table, they're 4 points off the pace behind Real Madrid, so they're still very much alive in the title chase. Elche certainly helped them out with that last night. And so to remove Diego Carlos would be a really big blow to them at the back. So I don't see Lopetegui or even Monchi necessarily allowing for that to happen unless they can find a suitable replacement for him by the end of the winter transfer market, which as of right now doesn't seem to be the case. It could entirely be possible that in the summer they could make a deal happen with Newcastle, that they'll let him go then. But I think right now it just might be a little bit too premature, and they're quite happy to ride it out and to wait.
It wouldn't be a transfer window, would it, if we're not discussing Real Madrid and Kylian Mbappe? Semra, what do you think? Any chance this could happen this month?
No, I don't think so. And if it does happen, I think it would be done very privately. I don't think we would be privy to that information. The only reason I say that is because in February, Real Madrid will be playing PSG in the Champions League. And so I think the idea would be to keep that news as kind of hidden from everybody as much as possible. I think there's no secret that we all know Kylian Mbappe has long been an admirer of the club, that he's long wanted to go and play for Real Madrid, and he's been working exceptionally hard to make that dream a reality. But I do think that we will see him probably in the summer. He obviously hasn't renewed any contracts that have been put forward to him by PSG. So I wouldn't at all be surprised if he does join in the summer. Whether they make that agreement sometime between now and then, we don't really necessarily know if that's going to be the case or not. But again, I think it's a very high possibility that we do see him dressed in a Real Madrid kit come June or come the summer.
Good to hear from you, Semra. Thank you.